Welcome everyone. This is Professor André Richelieu, expert in sportainment, the merger of sport and entertainment. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, with low rates of vaccination achieved worldwide, and the threat posed by the Delta variant, common sense would dictate a postponement of the Tokyo Olympics if health was truly the priority. So why are the Olympics still going to take place in a country which, by the way, is in a state of emergency? Let me give you three reasons. Number one, internal politics. Indeed, a general election shall take place in Japan this fall. The Tokyo 2021 Olympics are a cornerstone of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's legacy. The new Prime Minister, Yoshihide Suga, now carries the torch and the responsibility to hold the event and make the latter successful. It is no secret that Prime Minister Suga hopes that the feel-good factor shall translate into an electoral boost for his party, as well as national pride, as underscored by the Financial Times recently. This is a risky gamble, to say the least. Which leads me to the second reason why this Olympiad will be staged: sport diplomacy. In February 2022, Beijing shall host the Winter Olympics. It is understood among the political elite in Japan that the Tokyo Games must be held nearly at all costs. China cannot be left alone to celebrate triumphant games while Japan fails. Regionally and internationally, Japan and China are using sport and the Olympics as levers to build their soft power and assert their economic and diplomatic prominence. This is part of their sport-oriented place branding strategy, a topic I discussed in a previous video capsule. The third reason is economic and commercial. The International Olympic Committee, or IOC, gets almost 75% of its income from selling broadcast rights, and estimates suggest it could lose between 3 and 4 billion US dollars if the Olympics were canceled or even postponed, according to publications such as The Economist. This is not to mention sponsors. Domestic sponsors have contributed over 3 billion US dollars to help pay for the Tokyo Olympics, which will run over their initial budget of $12 billion, as is usually the case with these mega events. In fact, Tokyo 2021 will cost at least 15 billion US dollars. Ironically, Japan and sponsors have now very little to gain from the Olympics. In the current situation, an association with the Olympics can even damage their reputation and brand equity. This is because of the negative image transfer that shall derive from the stubbornness to go ahead with the event and thousands of people converging on Japan while we're still battling against COVID-19. The mere risk of the Olympics becoming a super spreader could cast a damaging stain on any executive or institution associated directly or indirectly with Tokyo 2021. That could become a public relations nightmare and shall lead to a questioning of future major sporting events organized by federations which seem isolated by power and money. To cut a long story short, these Olympics are a potential disaster in the making and an illustration of how politics, but also the over-financialization and over-commercialization of sport can end up jeopardizing the same values that sport should supposedly represent. Put it simply, and as diplomatically as I can, the ambition and greediness of a limited number of stakeholders is threatening the health of billions of citizens. And all of this has very little to do with sport in the end. This was Professor André Richelieu, expert in sportainment. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, so long.